Welcome to the latest episode of Blade Shade. My name is David McNamara, aka Rollerblading Stanley Tucci.
I had no idea, but I'm very flattered.
Today is a special episode of Blade Shade because it's going to be focused on the Capital Rollas Jam that recently took place in London. If you haven't been to one of the Capital Rollas events before, they have been putting them on for years and they always do a sterling job of getting loads of people together. This event took place at Bay 66 Skate Park, which is in London, one of the most iconic skate parks in the UK. One of the things that makes this event unique is it takes place right down the road from Notting Hill Carnival, which is one of the most famous carnivals in the world. So you could literally walk 2 minutes down the road, get some street food, enjoy some party atmosphere, and just generally have a good time, then come back to the skate park. But so many memorable things happened during the event that you probably didn't want to miss any of them. First up, CJ Wellsmore took time out of his busy schedule of hanging out on yachts with beautiful women to come and romp to first place in the pro event. He absolutely killed it all day. He was skating so fast, doing really high airs, taking full advantage of the park, and he landed his final trick before anyone else. Although there have been calls of foul play since this video emerged showing CJ trying to take out one of the competitors in the final. Here he can be seen doing a backside backslide to topsole to 360 headbutt. I'm pretty sure that was one of the special moves in Street Fighter 2. Come on CJ, you can't just go around sticking the nut in folk. Take that, ya flaming galah! I'm starting to think CJ Wellsmore might be taking competition advice from disgraced ice skater Tonya Harding.
I mean, come on! What kind of friggin' person bashes in their friend's knee?
Speaking of violence, one of the most shocking moments during the day was when a skater front flipped into someone's face. The skater did a front flip flyout on one of the quarters and kicked Mike Marsh, who is one of the organisers of the Southport Jam, clean in the face. I was standing maybe 20 feet away from it and the sound it made was horrendous. But Mike Marsh took it like an absolute champ. You know why? Because he's a double hard bastard.
You're a double hard bastard, right?
Right.
Turns out I'm not the only one who thinks this. Josh Nielsen commented on Instagram, "Oh shit, not even a punch from a prime Mike Tyson could take this man out." In the process of getting kicked in the face, apparently the skater took off part of Mike Marsh's scalp. I don't know about you, but if I got kicked in the face and it took off part of my scalp, I'd be on the ground, clutching my head, screaming, "Oh my god, my beautiful hair." Wait, this incident proved two things. Number one, Mike Marsh, still a double hard bastard.
We're too busy fighting and watching football and being generally double hard bastards.
Number two, skate competitions can be a chaotic experience. Be vigilant. It's a jungle out there.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
In second place in the pro event was Bobi Spassov, who came over and just put on one hell of a show for everyone. Look at this absolutely flawless fakie 900.
Don't come in the kitchen.
He again also just took over the whole course. I'm pretty sure there wasn't an obstacle he didn't use, and I would argue that he probably laced some of the best lines of the competition, although it did just take him a little bit longer to land his final trick than everyone else. In fact, I think he might have actually landed his final trick after the competition ended, the fakie to topsole. But either way, still an incredible performance. And he did his signature competition trick, the stall to backflip. You know, the trick Tom Moyes was banging on about a while ago.
See, Bobby won the Ghetto Games with his signature last trick. Whoa, 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 whoa. Signature? Nah, man, that is a council estate classic. That belongs to the council estate.
Interestingly, Tom Moyes was actually in attendance when Bobby did it, and his face was an absolute picture. If looks could kill. Jeez. Rounding out the top three is USD's Sam Crofts, who can be seen here doing an absolutely massive launch to disaster fishbrain. I'm pretty sure it only took him like 3 attempts to do it. Again, he skated unbelievably during the finals. It was so close between those three that if the results were in a different order, I don't think anyone would have complained. It was really hard for them to be picked apart, and I don't know how the judges managed to do it. Speaking of Sam, his Pro Skate promo is out now, and if you remember what I said in the lead up to it, Expect more brushes with death and entertaining altercations with security guards. Turned out it did have a lot of tricks that risked serious injury, and he got seriously injured a couple of times. But you can't keep a good man down, and like the absolute legend that he is, when Sam was all healed up and ready to skate again, he went right back to that spot and tore a new arsehole. Also, to the people in the blading community that like to overgeneralize and say that no one does hammers anymore, how does it feel to be wrong? No fucking with security guards though. I was half right. Another shocking moment at the Capital Rollas Jam was when blading legend Jon Julio messed up a soul grind. Even Jon Julio couldn't believe he'd messed up a soul grind. Oh my god, if Jon Julio loses the ability to soul grind, does that mean the end of rollerblading as we know it? Whew, thank god. Order's been restored. Speaking of Jon Julio, he can be seen here going back to back with Scotland's Scott Quinn on a street spot in London. Is Quinny about to be announced on them? And here we can see David Sizemore with some clever trickery. I actually heard someone comment at the end of the event, "Who's the little guy with the fast feet?" Pretty accurate description. All in all, it was an amazing weekend. Jamie and Blake and all the guys at Capital Rollas put on a brilliant event. If you haven't been before or you didn't go this year, I would thoroughly recommend going next year. It's one of the biggest events in the UK, and if you show up and you pay your money, it means they can keep doing them. It means they can keep getting huge names like they got this year. They had CJ Wellsmore, Pat Ritter, David Sizemore, Sam Crofts. They also had some great UK guys there like Tom Barrio and Sean Collette. I strongly recommend going next year. Speaking of Capital Rollas, they've got a new video out in the form of a Bruce Dobbie street section, and it is well worth checking out. I'm a big fan of Bruce Dobbie. In this section, he does 450s left, right and centre. Also takes a pretty brutal looking bail. And he throws in a bunch of switch ups. I'm pretty sure some of those Savannahs must have been switch. Also, this switch sole to true spin porn full cab out was absolutely flawless. I do have a couple of complaints about the video though. One, the soundtrack was a little bit grating. It's the kind of music you'd expect to hear in like a busy city centre when a bunch of guys pull up with all their windows down and they're all just wearing black hoodies and looking a little bit menacing. Or the kind of thing you'd expect to see Ali G and his mate listening to in his car. As you can see from this remix I made. Bringing it up from the underground. Also, I don't know if Bruce was going for a back unity or an acid here. But I've consulted a jury, which consists of just me, and we've returned a verdict that it is not either. But then I remembered that Bruce Dobbie is significantly more built than me. Look at the size of those biceps. He also has the intense stare of a sociopathic serial killer. And he regularly visits Scotland and could probably quite easily find out where I live. So I would just like to say that, again, I love the section, Bruce, and please don't hurt me. Did I mention how much I enjoyed the switch sole to true spin porn full cab out? Seriously, Bruce, no need for violence. Remember in the last episode I talked about eSend, the electric frame? Great for lazy bastards who love skating but don't actually want to skate. For everyone else, not so much. Well, they've partnered up with Powerslide to release 2 skates. One is the dupe. No. And the other one is the Metro. This is like the rollerblading equivalent of buying a mobility scooter. If you have legs that work, if you have leg muscles that work, use them. This is utter garbage. If you're a big fan of wizard skating, and why wouldn't you be? It's awesome. Mike Torres has put up B-roll from Disembark, the video he made with Leon Bassin. It has got just such an interesting insight into the process that goes to filming these tricks, you know, the struggles that they have, the thought process they have behind trying to like develop basically a new form of skating. It's also got quite a scary moment where Leon nearly makes a very foolish decision. I mean, why would you try to roll down that wall? It would just be absolutely horrible. Thankfully, Leon sees the error of his ways and gets the hell off of there. Now, skateboarding videos every once in a while feature rollerblading, mainly to take the absolute piss out of us. But it's very rare that rollerblading videos feature a skateboarder. But that is exactly what happens in the Disembark B-roll. Mike Torres is filming Leon Bassin in the city, and who walks past? Legendary skateboarder Mark Gonzalez. You may be more familiar with seeing him in Supreme adverts these days, but I was quite surprised by the cameo. Get the hell out of our videos, Mark. One of my favourite UK skaters of all time, Alex Burstin, was a recent guest on Jump Street podcast, and he showed us some snippets from his upcoming VOD.
You blessed us with a few clips. You did a bunch of tricks on this drop rail, but I had to switch it up because another grab back torque. I love this clip so much. So much style, sold a true top soul transfer.
Oh my gosh.
Can't wait to see that. Although there was a weird point in the podcast where it turned into a promo for ice cold loving eccentric Wim Hof.
Hey guys, I'm the Iceman. Very cold, no, very warm.
That's all thanks to the Wim Hof and the Wim Hof method. Just research Wim Hof because it'll change your life.
Okay, Alex, we get it. You like Wim Hof.
Just research Wim Hof. I won't say it again because I'm sound like I'm repeating myself too much, but yeah, Wim Hof.
You did say it again, and you are repeating yourself.
Alex is right, Wim Hof. Just get onto Wim Hof, man. He'll tell you everything you need to know.
Jesus Christ, Alex, we get it. You like Wim Hof. Luckily for you, you're responsible for one of my favourite true topsouls of all time.
Fuck you!
But don't push it, Alex. You're skating on thin ice. And just when you thought razors had the shittiest reputation in blading, along comes Levy Van Rayne and throws Adapt clean under the bus for apparently making violent threats.
And with Adapt, it's kind of the same story. Like the first 2 years it was nice, but after that I didn't really feel like the contact anymore. So I was trying to quit, and so I sent Peter, the guy, a message I want to quit and I want to talk about it. And then he went so mad on me. He told me I'm gonna ruin your career and I'm gonna break your legs if you start skating for another brand.
What?
Yeah, he said I'm gonna beat you up and stuff like that.
How old are you?
I was 18 back then.
Now, I'm sure there are two sides to every story, but if Levy's telling the truth, it sounds like Peter from Adapt has gone full Kathy Bates from Misery. You can't just go around threatening to break people's legs. This is rollerblading, not the mafia.
Torture you, that's a good idea. I like that one.
There have been some excellent videos out recently. First up, Cash Only by Bodega Boys. I'm a huge fan of Mike Torres and it's got a bunch of footage of him in there, so I'm happy with that. It rounds out with footage from Justin Brasco. Again, huge fan. In fact, I'd go as far as to say Justin Brasco is my favourite cast member of Jersey Shore.
Alright, we got a situation.
And the rest of the crew always come correct. My only complaint about the video? Not enough Alex Ryerson footage. Although I did love this amusing interaction with a cyclist.
Say again. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Come here.
Next up, Cidy Life are back with a new video called Steve Collis Special Branch. I first saw this at the premiere on the Friday night of the Capital Rollas Jam in London, and it is so good. It's got such a great vibe to it. It's really funny in places, and the skating is just amazing. Steve Collis just gets better with age. Check out this. Check out this. Check out this. It's out now on YouTube. I've got the link below. Check it out. Cidy Life, guys. Don't leave it so long next time. Next up is a video called Anka, which is really interesting. It has got some really good skating in it, but the creators of the video chose to end it with one of the worst clips possible. If you remember Sam Crofts' episode of Jump Street, he talks about having a horrific fall in Russia that could have easily resulted in life-changing injuries.
And then just rolled over like, whoa. I remember just thinking like, this is gonna suck, but in the air. Oh. And then just banging my head, like landing straight on my head from like that height.
From 8-9 feet in the air?
Yeah, just literally
shit.
Straight on my head.
These guys thought it would be a really good idea to put Sam's fall as the last clip in the video. Now, to put that in context, Sam barely features in this video. He doesn't have a section in it. In fact, I think he's got like 3 clips max. But these geniuses thought it would be a really good idea to put his horrific slam at the end of the video.
Ain't cool. Ain't cool at all.
You're right, Brian Aragon. That's not cool. It's not cool at all. Now, I'm not going to show the clip, but here you can see the very final piece of footage is Sam Crofts in the back of an ambulance, clearly disorientated and worried. I've just got one question for the creator of that video. What the fuck is wrong with you? On a slightly cheerier note, Brian Aragon just posted new skate footage and the rollerblading community collectively got a hard on.
I got a boner.
Good.
I'm pretty sure Brian Aragon could just post a video of him saying the word rollerblading and fanboys across the globe would have an orgasm.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh.
And last but not least, my Portuguese doppelganger, Ricardo Lino, just passed 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is an absolutely mammoth accomplishment. He's just got his silver plaque. I'm incredibly happy for him. I'm right behind you, Ricardo. Well, I'm like 995,000 subscribers behind you, but I'm right behind you. Maybe now that he's raking in that YouTube money, he can buy himself a new t-shirt and stop wearing that raggedy ass nightie that he keeps skating in.
Olá, YouTube. My name is Ricardo Lino, and I'm a Will Addict.
Come on, Ricardo. You're a YouTube star now. Dress accordingly. That's it for the latest episode of Blade Shade. I would like to thank my Patreon supporters who are listed here. If you would like to support my Patreon account, you can do so for as little as £3 a month. There's sneak peeks on there, photos, videos, all that kind of jazz. And yeah, let me know what your favourite story is.